Hey guys, EDDBUD here, and I'm back with another episode of the Running News. This is a weekly show where I pull together lots of interesting running news for you, all into one concise package. 4 stories today, let's get to story number 1. So it does appear that Parkruns, in the UK at least, might be returning on the 5th of June. Obviously there are specific permissions which need to be sought by the owners of the land where the parkruns take place. I mean, every parkrun's different, isn't it? It's in a different location, on different land. There's all sorts of restrictions and laws and legislation, I should imagine, needs to be explored before we can restart. Everybody loves that popular 5k or 3.1 mile exercise opportunity, don't they? I've got to say it's very positive news for me. The Yeovil Parkrun B course is right behind where I live, so it's ideal. Obviously the restart of these is dependent on a variety of different factors. Obviously the ability to use the land wherever the parkrun takes place, but then you've got facilities and all sorts of other stuff, parking, but it does appear it's almost finally in reach. I think parkrun events are very important from a social and mental aspect. I mean, those are 2 such things that we've all craved and struggled with, haven't we, over the past year. And of course parkruns were a real core occurrence for physical activity and exercise. I think Parkrun themselves have sent out over 589 messages to various different landowners. Permission to return? Fingers crossed. Let me know where your nearest parkrun is down in the comments. Story 2. There's a couple of shoe releases to comment upon in the UK at least. The Puma Deviate Nitro Elite has finally surfaced, but not on the Puma website. It's very odd. Start Fitness have got the shoe finally. It's 159 Earth credits. Sizes currently 7 through to 11, so if you're after the bigger ones, you're out of luck. No sign of a women's release though, so a men's only release at the moment. A carbon plated Nitro racer with that Liberate Nitro upper. I'm in for that. But Puma, why not on your own website? It just seems completely bizarre. They've got all the other Nitro shoes on there, but not this one. It's really strange. Another very colourful version of the Nike Vaporfly Next% 2 is set to drop very soon. Seems to be a nod to the 1972 Olympics. Perhaps some Prefontaine vibes in there somewhere. There's some green, yellow and red hits on the upper of this new version, and it's probably the most colourful yet actually, and it doesn't look quite so pelican-like. The 72 Olympics was a real breakthrough event for the swoosh when they kind of first appeared from out behind the shadow of Adidas. I think it was also the first year where they introduced the waffle outsole. No waffles on this one there, it's just the standard Next% rubber. Looks a bit like a melted chocolate bar, doesn't it? I think the waffle outsole actually first appeared in the 72 Olympic trials in the US. Interesting to see normal laces in this one, and not those perforated ones that we've seen in other versions of the Next% 2. Maybe some people have been voicing their dislike of those sewing box laces. I've certainly changed them out in mine. Works a whole lot better in my prototype version with those black laces. You should try it. Lots of logos all over the tongue of this one. Although you're not really going to see all that much of them because the Next% upper kind of comes across over the tongue, so they'll be hidden. But you'll know they're there. I'm sure this one will surface in a few weeks' time with the possibility of those Olympics still taking place, I guess. Let's hope so. What do you make of this strange colourway of the Next% 2? Let me know. Story 3. The latest World Athletics shoe list has some interesting additions. There is the presence of the Brooks Hyperion Elite 3. I would suggest that's probably a very recent inclusion. We've only seen that surface over the last few weeks. I've got to be honest, I'm not really massively excited about that one. It just looks like they've added a little bit more stack to the shoe. Maybe a slightly different upper. Yeah. The Elite 2 really didn't blow me away that much. Obviously that one's restricted to road use only. I think it comes in just under 40mm in terms of the heel stack height. The New Balance Fuel Cell RC Elite 2 is on there. That massive purple thing. In the same category as the aforementioned shoe, I can't even imagine what the stack height's going to be of that shoe in my size. You know, as you get up to 11, 12 or 13, there'd just be insane amounts of foam there. Do you remember how everybody complained about the Alphafly when that first came out?
Oh, it's too much foam in that one. Too much stack height. It should be banned. Ban it.
Now, barely anybody mentions it anymore, do they? Another in the road category of that sub 40mm stack height. is the long-awaited Nike Zoomx Steakfly. It's finally appeared, it's there. Does seem to be above 25mm though, so it's going to limit its use a little bit. Just a perhaps more nimble, lower stack shoe. I say lower stack, it's still quite high. There are 2 Under Armour inclusions on this list though. Very interesting. There's a Velocity Elite on there now. Sounds like it could be a maxed out version of the Velocity Wind that I've really been enjoying this year. And that shoe's also on this list as well. It qualifies for use in that 25mm category. I always thought it was a little higher, but I don't know. So I believe you could use that on the track for anything over 800 meters. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments below, but I'm pretty sure that's what it means. I can't see anybody really adopting that shoe though for that. I mean, it's a great shoe, I really love it, but I'm pretty sure there's better options, but interesting to see that it is actually available and could be used for that. There's all sorts of weird prototypes on that list as well. Doesn't really say what they are, loads of strange ASICS track spikes and stuff. I'm sure we'll get to see them. Story 4. The eco-friendly and sustainable brand Allbirds have got a new shoe coming out. In fact, it's already out. This time a laceless model. It's a while since we saw any laceless running shoes actually. Certainly this does mimic the profile of a Nike shoe that came out a little while back. I think it was like the React Phantom or something along those lines. You've just got a pull tab on this Allbird shoe in place of what would be the tongue. You got the same renewable materials as you would find in the Allbirds Tree Dasher, but in the Tree Dasher Relay you've got fewer colorway options. There's a black, white, and a sesame variant. This one's coming in at $125 or £120, and you've got the castor bean insole as well. I remember that being really comfortable in the Tree Dasher, and a eucalyptus tree midsole. It's not very often you say that, is it? Found the midsole pretty good actually in the Tree Dasher, though I've got to be honest, it was a more short range shoe. I wouldn't want to take it really far. If you're just using it for daily stuff, then job's a good one. I'm keen to see if this is still a viable option though without the laces. I find that you really need some flexibility in terms of the lacing options with any running shoe. The tightness and the configuration of the laces makes a massive difference. You really want a good connection between your foot and the midsole, and without it, the true joy of running may not be able to be experienced. Maybe I might get to test them out. Only time will tell. Okay, that's all the running news for today, guys. If you've seen any interesting stories, please let me know on the email that's down in the description of this video. I'll very much appreciate it. A musical interlude for you. Probably one of the most diverse that you'll ever hear. I've been listening to 2 artists this week, and some people might think that they're probably the polar opposite, I suppose, of each other. Slim Whitman and Travis Scott. I've really been getting into Travis Scott's album from 2018, Astroworld. Tracks I like in particular on there are Sicko Mode and Skeletons. Skeletons is awesome actually. It almost sounds like a Tame Impala track. Some of the drums and production. That's kind of what I like on the Travis Scott stuff actually. The production's just that bit better than everybody else. There's some really interesting beats and sounds and tiny little details there that you can absorb. I try and look past some of the language and stuff on there and listen to it just as a sound, and I really like the sound. It's a really pleasant thing. Just really good beats, really strong rhythms. And then moving on to Slim Whitman, you see. He had a style all of his own, just like Travis Scott, the singing cowboy. Most people would have heard the song Rosemarie, which is just showcase, I suppose, for Slim Whitman's awesome vocal style. But I particularly like Indian Love Call. It's just almost like something from another world, actually, when you listen to it these days. There's always beautiful slide or pedal steel guitar on Slim Whitman tracks as well. Again, you hear that beautiful vocal style on the track Home on the Range. So I guess in some ways, if you look at the Cactus Jack style Travis Scott kind of persona and Slim Whitman, you know, they kind of meet in the middle somewhere, I think. Go and check them out, Travis Scott and Slim Whitman. Right, on that note, cats, I've probably befuddled you into submission. I hope you enjoyed the show. And if you haven't done so already, I'd really appreciate it if you'd hit that subscribe button and click the bell below for notifications of when I launch those new videos. And if you particularly enjoyed that one, you can help the channel out by giving this video a thumbs up like and sharing it with your running buddies. My name's EDDBUD, and I'll be seeing you